Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be building upper cabinets. We went ahead and made this template out of cardboard just to kind of match the wall and ceiling contour. And this is where we'll be mounting this section of cabinets. It'll actually be over the bed area. And then we'll continue down this line with a shorter cabinet. And then one that's right in this area that will be over our sink area. Since we will be painting these white, we went ahead and bought 1/2-inch hardwood plywood that already had primer on it. So that will save us one extra step in the painting process. This will do it for our cabinet over our bed for the rough-in. We'll go try and put it in place and see how everything fits. We're definitely going to have to cut out the back corner just a little bit to dodge one of the bump outs in the back of the van. But we built it that way just to gain a little bit more space. Figured it would be easier to cut out later than to build around it. This is the little spot that we have to notch out around on the cabinets. Honestly, I'm pretty worried about it because the cabinet went together like so smoothly and now we're cutting a hole in it. So really hoping I don't screw this up. Now that we have the cabinet that goes above our bed framed up, Jelaine's now working on templates for the cabinets that go above the sink. And then I think we're going to put some small cabinets that go like right above the seat that's in between the bed and the sink. These are kind of like a prototype right now. We're not really sure how that's going to work. We went to make sure that they're not deep enough that we hit our heads on them when we stand up. But also we want the extra storage, so we don't know if it's best to do cabinets or a shelf currently. So we'll just have to see how that goes. This is kind of what it'll look like all mounted up. Might even include this little ghetto block right here. This will be over the bed area, and then we'll have like a bench seat right here, and then over here will be like our kitchen cabinets. It's turning out better than I expected. I've never have built cabinets before, so can't complain too much about that. It's definitely not perfect, but we're doing the best we can. We were going to go with a more pure white paint color, but kind of cheaped out when we found a gallon of paint left over from our house, so that's what we're using. Looks pretty white until you like put a true white up against it, and then it has like a slightly grayish tint to it. Holy F, you guys. Made a big mistake with these cabinets. I didn't measure from here to the floor and here to the floor until we put them in, and they have this like crazy gangster lean. Yeah, so they're out 1.5 inches from the front to the back, so they're leaning back like really hard. So that was kind of a waste of 2 days of cabinet building and painting. So it's back to the drawing boards, making new templates, and we're going to take this down and start all over. Wish us luck. Just to give you guys a reference of how far it was out, this piece of cardboard with the tape on it is actually right. So pretty serious gangster lean. New saw, new template, let's go. Something I didn't realize until just now is it's a left-handed saw, which is cool because I'm left-handed, but I've always had to use right-handed saws, so it's kind of tricky to like figure out where the blade is in relation to the line. So It's pretty interesting, but I like it. It's definitely a big improvement from our other saw. We just fit the upper cabinet and all is well with that. So now we're moving on to the second cabinet.
Not only did we have to rebuild the second cabinets, we get to paint them again. So that's what I'm getting ready to start on. Round 2.
Cabinet mount, take 2. We have these 2 upper cabinets in. Now we're going to start working on the one that goes in this area. Might get kind of crazy because this comes across and then juts way out. Then we'll be going down to right in here. But probably be a lot of noodle scratching on this one, so might take us like 6 days to build or something. We've been pretty terrible at building cabinets so far, so wish us luck. Didn't film much at all yesterday because we were running in and out of the house trying to dodge rain showers, but this is what we have accomplished on the cabinet. It's kind of crazy looking. This little guy especially, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, so just going to keep building it and adjust accordingly. Oh, we made a mistake. We were supposed to route this area out to recess the wires for our lights that will be going in the bottom of these cabinets before we put the back piece on, but we didn't, so I'm not really sure how we're going to get the wires out of the back now since our router won't go all the way up to the edge. Might be interesting. We just finished up this cabinet. Of course, the routing job looks terrible, but that will all be concealed. And now we're going to move on and start working on the bulkhead, which is the piece that divides the front from the back and will help contain the garage area. Have it all laid out right here. And Jelaine's alarm's going off. And yeah, we're going to cut this out and then throw it in there and see how it fits. I'm finally getting used to that left-handed saw, so this one really wasn't as bad as I expected. Check this out. Not too shabby. Thanks so much for joining us in today's video. As always, time for our tips, tricks, mistakes, and costs. And if you've been watching our videos this long, you know we make lots of mistakes, and this video is no different, as you've seen. But we hope that you gain value from our mistakes so you don't have to make them as well. Our first tip, which is also a mistake that we made, was be sure to measure off of the floor to the bottom of where your cabinet's going to be, and make sure you get the exact same measurement from the back of the cabinet and also the front of the cabinet, and that way you can ensure that it's square off the floor and you'll have a nice vertical cabinet going up, unlike ours that was like
Make sure you get the measurements multiple times and they're all the same before you try to make your template, and also before you transfer that template to the plywood, because that can cost you some money as well.
And a lot of time.
Yes.
I think it did end up taking us like 6 days total. And that was like working weekends and maybe some at night, but we didn't really work at night too often on this project. Yeah. But yeah, it'll save you a ton of time and cost of material, and definitely some frustration, because there's nothing like thinking you just did a great job and then you put it up and you're like, oh my goodness, like.
Even after spending all the time painting it and letting it dry, that time's all accounted for, and now you have to do it twice. I was pretty annoyed to have to be painting it 2 times because it's actually pretty hard to get in all the little cracks, and like, you know, you just gotta maneuver. It's a back killer for sure.
We didn't even notice that it wasn't exact until we screwed it into the ceiling and we thought we were completely done with that one. We're like, yep, we're done. And then it's like, oh my goodness, what the heck did we do? And it only took about 2 minutes to figure it out.
So the total cost of this project was $431.39. However, 160 of that was about tools, and the other should really be divided in half since we had to do the cabinets twice.
I'm not really sure what that math is, but you probably have a calculator. Thanks so much for joining us in today's video. We're Ben and Jelaine with Nomadic Visuals, and we'll see you in the next one.